y'all, we all need to prepare just like they lived back in these days right here. They had it rough. They worked all day, but it's a lot simpler life. They had to kill what they eat, or grew what they eat, or more or less fish for survival. And I'm sure at the end of the day, they so give out, they wasn't nothing about worrying about fussing, fighting hardly that much. They were so tired, they went to bed and got up early the next day to start a new day to go ahead and survive. If you could think about it that way, the mentality they did, you're going to be a lot better off. Because that day's probably coming back pretty soon. It's an awesome built cabin. There's several cabins here. It's old as the hills, and it's still standing. They built that thing to last, and they done a good job. There wasn't a whole lot of grocery stores back then. They wouldn't have in every corner. They might have had a general store somewhere and probably went once every 6 months to maybe a year to get stuff that they couldn't grow, or maybe go out in the woods and anything like that. They had to more or less like sugar and stuff like that. And whatever else they could stock up on that they couldn't just make at home. But to me, it was a good life if you think about it. They had to make stuff happen. Everything didn't revolve around a big city and everything this and that, which I'm sure there's some trouble back then. The people that went to the bars and stuff like that, I figure a lot of them did not work, and that's where the trouble come in. Which I've watched all kind of westerns, but if you think about it, people that's doing this kind of stuff right here on a homestead, y'all know how hard that is. Growing their own food and killing animals, whatever they're going to eat like that to survive. And I'm sure a lot of them had a big family. So they lived day by day. And I'm sure they prepared as much as they could have had. But to me, compared to this big old world right now like it is, with all this pressure and stress, it's a good way of living. I'm sure they loved it too. They had a lot less to worry about because their mind was busy and occupied, and they was doing stuff all the time, just getting ready. Let's go up here and look at this cabin a little closer. We'll go beside of it. There's another cabin beside of it over here too. It's a bigger one. But I love this little one too. If we can prepare our minds and our lifestyle 20% like they did during them days, when survival happens, we're going to make it right through it. These people was tough. I'm sure they didn't get up one single day and think, well, I ain't going to make it till tomorrow. They looked at it like, if we don't do something today, we ain't going to make it till tomorrow. So they had to. They knew survival depended on what they did. So I'm sure the first thing they get up early in the morning, they got their day started. Probably worked all the way till dark. Then they would so give out, they fell right to sleep. Here's this other cabin. It's beautiful too. I love them both. But that gives you a glimpse of how it used to be and probably what's coming later on. Especially if they knock us back down to dark ages like they're wanting to do. Always talking about knocking the power off or some other kind of shortage. But it just lets you know by looking at this building right here. If they can do it like they done it and have raised big families, if it comes down to it, we can do the same thing. Just like this littler, smaller cabin. If you have to downsize, do whatever you got to do. The main thing in life is to supply all your needs and try to be happy anyway. And I'm sure these people right here, they was just looking for something to feed their family and stay warm. They wasn't thinking about what all this they could get like that, like a material world, how it is now and stuff. To me, it'd be a great way to live. Any year to me is a great time to live in something like this. Besides that power out there buzzing, you can tell how peaceful this place is. Thank y'all for taking time to watch. But it's more or less, it gets your attention when you see something like this old and historical, because, somebody lived here. Probably a family. There's probably a lot of love that was in that, probably all kind of childhood and everything. I probably know how many kids that lived in there. Probably, I'm sure a man and his wife, and probably 2 or 3 or 4 kids, or maybe more. It's not that big, but still, it's going to stand a lot longer than me unless a storm comes through. That's how good it's built. Y'all, we'll see you in the next video.